Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are you doing? It's Porky here, the voice of hardcore boxing. But then again, you already know that, don't you? That's why you've tuned in. Today, I'm joined by Harley from Ipswich. Young Harley, how are you doing, lad?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, Russ. How are you, mate? It's been a little while, so how are you doing, mate?
I'm all right. I understand that you are raging about them shows last
Yes,
night.
mate.
Away you go. You want your floor's yours.
Yeah, some really shocking shows. I thought the Frank Warren card was terrible. I know, obviously, one of the fights fell off, didn't it? Is it Woodstock Kakachi fight? I think that was the British title fight, fell off. But even still, I thought for a Saturday night show, I thought it was shocking. Tommy Fury, again, not in a great fight, again fighting. He needs to step up his competition a little bit. I know he's only 4 or 5-0, but the guy he was fighting shouldn't have been on TV, really. 0-9 chap. It's pretty poor. And that's the headline, co-headline show for the main fight, which was a flyweight European type fight. It just wasn't good enough, really, for a Saturday night card. Shouldn't have been a televised card, really, I thought. What did you think, Russ, of it?
Garbage. Utter garbage. Garbage. That's the only way you can describe it. And the people that are at fault are the quality control at BT Sport. Hang your head in shame. And people like Steve Bunce and all them other people on there who, fair enough, they're employed by them, aren't they? But they've got to be coming out and saying, what's this he was serving up here? Totally embarrassing. I love Buncey to death. I like him. But these people are narrating something that they're masquerading as pundits when really they're not. They're not boxing pundits. They are con men. That's what they are. Confidence tricksters is the word. So, what do you think, Harley?
Yeah, I think it's just Shank's obviously struggling, but he can do it. He can put a better card on than that, I believe. He can get better fights out there than that. And this is the problem with our prospects. They're not having good tests or good challenges before they go up in levels. So when they get to that level, I think Terry makes a good point. They get found out, don't they? And they're not active enough as well. You say it a lot, activity. They need to be active, these fighters. So That's what I think, mate.
Did you like John Fury's t-shirt?
Yeah, took his top off, didn't he, mate? He showed his belly, bit of nudity.
He's there for comedy entertainment, isn't he, at a BT Sport? If Tyson Fury went with BT Sport, do you think they'd have John Fury on TV? No, yeah. No. This is how I look at it, like looking at it from my point of view. Does Tommy Fury win a British title at light heavyweight? Yes or no?
No chance at the moment. No, I don't think he does. No.
Right. Does he win an English title?
Potentially, if he's matched correctly, yes. I'd say maybe, yeah.
Matched against who? Tell me somebody who's English level at light heavyweight. Anthony Yard. Is he English level? Because he's not won one. He's not won a British, has he?
No. Yeah, Anthony Yard would beat Tommy Fury. Yeah, easy.
Would Marcus Morrison beat Tommy Fury if he stepped up to light heavyweight?
Yeah, Marcus Morrison. I think Marcus Morrison would beat him. Yeah.
He'd punch him upside down, wouldn't he? So what is Tommy Fury a gimmick?
Yeah, he's a YouTube boxer and living off Tyson's name. If we're being real, let's be honest, a little bit.
No, so you can't blame him for trying to get a few quid because he's a nice kid, Tommy. I've met him a few times. He's a decent kid, but how they're talking these opponents up for him. John Fury spoke other day. I'm not sure if at IFL or Boxing Social. I forget which one it were. He was talking up Tommy Fury's opponent like he's some roadman killer, and he weren't, were he? Are you there, Harley? Are you there, mate?
No.
I can't hear you, mate.
Russ, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah, go on. What's the matter with you?
Yeah, I don't know. The internet, hold on 1 second, Russ.
It's not mine, mate. This is all brand fire now. Harley Marshall, strictly 4th division, aren't you, son?
Is that better now? Sorry, mate. It just went off there.
Oh, that's all right. I give everybody one chance.
You're talking about Tommy Fury. Sorry, where we were at about?
Oh, nobody can dispute that Tommy gets his head in good shape and that he looks apart. But he's on Love Island and he's Tyson Fury's brother, so they're going to milk it, aren't they, best they can? But don't tell me that he's going to win a British title because he hasn't won a Central Area yet. For all the hype around him, I feel sorry for him in a way, but they've got this media game down to a T, him, his dad, and Tyson. So what I see him doing is trying to pinch a few quid fighting somebody like Jake Paul. That's what I see happening. I don't see him being took serious in boxing circles. Nobody's taking him serious. They just think he's a bit of a gimmick. And I feel sorry for the kid as well because he probably likes boxing, but when you're saying as a gimmick, like, you've just got to tread water and fight people that you definitely know you can beat and hope down the line that you pick up a few quid with sponsors and maybe a big fight with Jake Paul. That's where I see him going. I don't see any route set for him to go through the levels like area, English, British, Commonwealth, European and world. I don't see anything progressing for him to go fight for a Central Area. His first fight was against a guy with 10 wins, wasn't it, right? Since then, he's fought a guy with 2 wins, and then, is it 3 guys with no wins?
No wins, yeah. He's fought a couple with no wins, yeah.
So he's fighting guys who've not had a win, who don't know how to win, so they're there to be knocked over. It all looks good, doesn't it, on TV and all that, and blah, 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 but somebody needs to come out at BT Sport and say, we're not going to go traditional route with Tommy Fury. We're just here. He's here as a gimmick to get views, and we're trying to pinch a few quid for him. Come out and say that, but don't start coming out where he's going to win a British title down line and he's got learning fights and all this. It's craziness. Utter craziness. There's other kids more deserving of the hype, but he's a Fury, isn't he? So he's going to get that hype, isn't he? You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I don't understand all that about his dad taking his top off and all that kind of thing. Walking around with John Fury on his t-shirt. Why don't you just say Tommy Fury? Because it's about Tommy in it, not the dad. But we wish him well. Anyway, moving on from the adventures of Tintin. What do you think to Al Heyman's show?
Garbage, mate. That was Darrell, wasn't it? Yeah, it was garbage. Al Heyman, I rate. I think he's a good promoter. He normally puts on good fights, but he's another one not doing it at the moment, is he? He's not putting competitive fights on.
What about Lennox Lewis, right? People like Lennox Lewis, the big in fights up like this, they're the last line of defence. We've got the fights, the promoters, and the media. The media are telling a story to the viewers at home, and they're spinning absolute garbage and lies. They are masquerading as media men, but they're not, are they? They're not. You don't get this in football, do you?
No, you don't. No.
So
it's the pundits being biased. You don't get in football. You don't get Roy Keane being biased about Man United, do you? You don't get him. He'll say it straight. You don't get the pundits telling it straight. In all the companies are bad for it. Sky, BT, ESPN, like you say, Fox, PBC. All the pundits are very biased to the product, aren't they? They don't.
Because they're getting paid.
Mm.
They're getting paid. It's sending me crazy. I'm going to end up with an ulcer. That for me is just, it's like another nail in coffin for me as regards what I think about the sport at the moment. It's another nail in the coffin. And do you know what? There aren't many more spaces left to stick these rusty nails. Because that were utter pish. And I can't believe that people paid to watch it. Oh. Go on then, moving on. What did you think about the DAZN show with Canelo Alvarez against Anthony Yildirim?
It was what it was. I blame the WBC because that's a terrible man. He shouldn't have been mandatory, really, should he? That shouldn't have been a fight. They should have ordered for Canelo, but he just done what he done, dispatched him, and now he's moving on. But it was a rubbish fight. He gave nothing, did he? The Turkish lad.
No, I don't know. Where do you see boxing heading now in its battle with UFC for supremacy? Do you think UFC and Dana White are beating boxing hands down at the moment?
they're beating it and they're going miles. They're getting miles ahead of it now, I believe. They're putting on the fights that fans. They're putting best for the best in UFC. All the big fights are happening, aren't they? In boxing, one or two are kind of happening, or being. It's more talking boxing fights are happening than it actually is, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've only Billy Joe Saunders Canelo's been announced. Really, I know they're talking about Fury, AJ, and whatnot, but that's not been announced yet, has it? So we can't say it's a done deal yet because it hasn't been announced. So
I thought Fury Joshua were made in June. He said, "Dan the man, Kinahan, you are the man. 2-5 deal. It is done. It is done. Well, that was 9 months ago. Then go date. Stop lying." Sending me crazy. You want to give your YouTube channel a shout out, Ali?
Yeah. My YouTube channel is HJM Boxing. We've got a few videos up there at the moment. We've got a good video now actually with an African heavyweight from Nigeria, third world country, and he's talking about his life. He's quite a humble young man, and I think it's a good video really about just never giving up, keep training and stuff like that. So I plugged that video. If you want to watch a video on my channel, give that a watch.
How many subscribers have you got now?
I've got about 25, so very small. I'm not Porky's Corner at the moment, not at that level, but we're going up the levels, mate. I'm at English level at the moment, or Southern area. You're at world level, so I'm going through the levels, mate.
Roll out my arsehole, son. We're not world level, mate.
You're my inspiration, Porky, mate.
I'm not. Oh, fucking hell, mate. I've got a fiver here for you.
I'm a company man to Porky's Corner, mate.
Oh my God! Fucking hell. Whoa! Climb out my hoop. No, it's only a bit of banter. Listen, mate, you've got to start somewhere. Mate. I remember when I had a few subscribers at the beginning. I thought, God, this is an hard slog. This, you know what I mean? But sometimes you just got to stick at it and ride the question wave. And like I said, everybody in the dogs tried to stop me, and I'm still here. I'm going from strength to strength. But I wish you all the success with your channel. Did you want to speak about Joe Gallagher today? Yeah,
I wanted to talk about Callum Johnson going to BT Sport. And do you think Joe Gallagher's stable could be potentially going to BT Sport? Is that what you're thinking, or?
Do you know what? It's an hard one, that. But I can see Joe Gallagher doing the best for his fighters. I'm not going to say he's going to take all his fighters to Bricktop, but I can see him just doing his best for his fighters, because no matter what you say about him, he does his best for his kids, doesn't he? He gets some good opportunities and he brings them on, and they got traditional roots and that, don't they? He likes to get him a British title, doesn't he, Joe? And go that way. And I've become an admirer of his, to be honest. I was very critical about him, obviously, for Crawler getting the rematch against the Naras and getting the fight with Lomachenko. But you're not going to... Look, these kids have got to eat, haven't they? Joe's going to do the best he can for his kids, isn't he? Sometimes he can say things and it come out the wrong way, and he rub people up the wrong way, but you've got to say he lives the job. He's up early and he's to bed late and he's boxing all day, and he wakes up and the first thing he does, he goes on boxing websites, doesn't he? I've heard he's all day on Box Record, plotting routes and planning and speaking with people and all the time, and it's an hard job. And Steffi Bull's like that as well. I'm a massive critic of him. We're never going to be mates like we were, but they live the job, don't they, these people? So they have to be given credit. Dennis Hobson up here at Sheffield, he don't live it because he's got... Not that he might think about boxing, but he's not on the shop floor. You can't pin him down. When you employ 80 people from Jersey all the way up to Sheffield, or whatever business he's got going, there's 80 people he's got around him all day. So he's like this all the time. You can't pin him down. So he's not 100% boxing. He's not on the shop floor. Steffi, Joe Gallagher, they live it, don't they? They're prime examples of people who, like Dave Colwell, he lives it, doesn't he? They're on the ball all day. So I'm not going to hammer Joe Gallagher. I think he'll do the best for his fighters, and if there's a deal there with Bricktop, they'll cross the street, and Joe won't lose a minute's sleep about it. Eddie Hearn didn't lose any sleep when when he throws Joe's fighter out, Callum Johnson, did he, at Boazzi fight? Do you think Eddie's bothered? No, it's got to make sense for him pound note-wise, hasn't it? Do you think?
Yeah. Didn't they offer Johnson chump change against Boazzi, like 40 grand, wasn't it? Which is rubbish money for him.
They offered him 80, didn't they? I heard.
80 grand. Oh, 80. Okay.
And then they came back months later with half the offer. But Boazzi's money didn't change, did it? He still gets 160 every fight, doesn't he? Because he's a Femi fighter, isn't he? Managed by Big Dossa Femi.
Yep.
That I don't agree with. And do you know Boazzi? I don't think it's real deal. I think he fluked an Olympic medal. I don't think he's a real deal. Yeah, he might be a British champion and whatnot, and got an high ranking, but I don't see him wanting to get in there with Beta Beef, do you? Like Callum Johnson.
No.
Hey?
No chance.
Oh, what are they going to do? Are they going to manoeuvre him through choppy waters because he's a Joshua fighter? Yeah, probably. But I don't think that's right, me. I don't think it's right for fans either. It's liberties. And liberties give me the ump. And I can't have the ump. You know what I mean? So It's just my opinion, but I wish Callum Johnson all the best. He's a nice kid. He can crack with best of them. I mean, Commonwealth gold medal, an amateur kid. He's done it all, hasn't he? And I think he wins the world title, Callum Johnson. I think he does. I think that light heavyweight division is exciting in England. Lyndon Arthur at Yard, Callum Johnson. You could have a round robin, them three. Why not? I don't know. What do you think about Natasha Jonas? Do you think she's going to get a fight with Harper?
They should make that fight because that first fight, like you said, was probably fight of the year last year. I don't know why you wouldn't want to redo that because that was a great fight, wasn't it?
Ring Magazine said it were women fights of the year.
Yeah, easily. It was easily the best women's fight of the year last year, and possibly the best fight of the whole year, mate. It was up there for sure. It was a good fight. I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. Yeah,
good fight. It wasn't best fight of the year though.
No.
As regards the men as well, but it was best.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Fight. What I can't understand, Darley, is why Sky and Matchroom don't deem it worthy of a rematch, but yet Ring Magazine say it's fight of the year for females. I don't get that. Could you imagine Ward Gatti not having a rematch? Ring Magazine fight of the year. They had a trilogy, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get that at all. Tyson Fury, Joshua. What do you think's happening with that, Harley?
It's just carrying on talking. Oh, we're close to doing it. Another month will go, and we've got the contracts all written up. It's cycle, isn't it? It's just going round and round. Until I see a press conference, Tyson Fury, Joshua, Eddie Hearn, Warren, Arum, I won't believe it's happening until I see a press conference. Maybe even that's not enough. Maybe we have to wait till they get in the ring because the antics and everything that goes along with it. So, but there's talk it's going to be in Saudi Arabia, isn't it? It's probably most likely to be there because of the money situation, which I think is wrong, to be fair. I think it should be in the UK because obviously if crowds are coming back in June or whatever, May, June, isn't it? So why not have that at Wembley Stadium? That'd be a great event for the country, wouldn't it? But I just can't see it. If it happens, it'll be in Middle East, won't it?
I think that John Fury has to be given some respect here on this issue because he came out and he said that it should be in England. So John Fury, I agree with you on one thing, and that's that. So well done for coming out and saying that. Whether they're saying it because they're going to use it as an excuse not to have the fight, I don't know. I mean, it's a storyline now that's gone on far too long and they need to fight, don't they? But could there be people in each camp that really don't want them to fight? They're telling us all this, but do they really want to fight?
I think Barry Hearn, didn't he say 2022? He said that like the Wilder fight would happen, wouldn't it? So probably even that will be Joshua Fury, probably 2022 or whatever. That'll probably be when the fight actually happens. I think next year is probably more realistic, but who knows?
Barry Hearn might be in jail by then. You don't know, do you?
Yeah.
He might be slopping out with Purple Aki.
Yeah.
All right then. What do you think about Dillian White, the body snatcher, the can man? Anybody who wants it can get it. Maximum violence. What do you think about him fighting on the Rock of Gibraltar? What do you think about that?
Bit of a strange move, really, to be honest. I know obviously he's training in Portugal, but why couldn't they go from? Why can't he train in the UK? I don't understand that. Why can't you? Because you're allowed to train in the UK. What's so great about training in Portugal? I'm not too sure, to be honest. But it's, I don't know, it's another novelty event, I suppose. It's not really a fight I'm that interested in, Russ, to be honest. I think Povetkin's 41 years old. He beat Dillian White. Why does he need to rematch him? He beat him conclusively, didn't he? Knockout win, won well. Why do we have to have a rematch? Every single fight with Eddie Hearn, it seems to be rematch clauses like Warrington Lara. Just fights it's just not a fight I'm that interested in. What about you, Russ?
I want to see it because I want to see Dillian White get knocked out again.
Yeah.
So I think he gets knocked out. Dylan, you get iced by Povetkin. Ice, baby. That's what I think's happening, and I think Dillian White's probably filling his nappy now at the thought of getting in with Povetkin yet again, because he can't mix it with him skill-wise, and skills, for me, pay them bills.
What do you think if Dillian White gets knocked out again? Do you think he'll still be a pay-per-view fighter or not? Or do you think they're trying to wheel him back against Joseph Parker or someone like that who had a stinker again last night or yesterday?
Joseph Parker is the original stinkinator. He stunk more arenas out than Lawrence Sokoli.
Yeah.
This is how I look at it, right? Dillian White has come this far, and he's in his 6th pay-per-view, and he's not fought for a European title yet. Mind the world. And in my opinion, I think he's a genius, like Tony Bellew. Because Tony Bellew never beat a champion, did he? Never took a belt off a champion, and he had 4 pay-per-views. Dylan's in his 6th, and he's not been in a European. Chisora's going to be heading into his 3rd or 4th pay-per-view, is it? He's not won a world title. These people have evolved on social media into characters like Bellew. He's got an opinion on everything. You're watching Sky, and his tweets are popping up. Even if he's not at the show, he's still in your mind. So they know these people are media darlings. They know how to play the game. Dillian White's been playing it for years. He's played a blinder, hasn't he, since he got a match show. Played a blinder. Been controversial at press conferences. Every time you turn your telly on, he's on IFL. You know what I mean? He's palled Coogan up like Dave Allen's palled him up, and Rob Tebbett. And look, these people are more interested in media than fighting and achieving anything. Dave Allen's not won a belt. Dylan's not fought for a European, but they're all over social media. What's going on? Is all my leg wet? Somebody just pissed all up my leg or something? Do I look like a fucking lollipop? Right? I just don't agree with it. But...
Well, I think of Dillian White, though, I think really a lot of his success was down to Mark Tibbs and his training, to be honest. He got his jab working, got his left hook really going. His style was really, Mark Tibbs really phenomenal. And obviously he beat some decent names and contenders and obviously went on pay-per-view. I don't think he's a pay-per-view fighter personally, but I believe Mark Tibbs deserves a lot of credit for getting him to the stage he was. And to bin him off like he did, I thought was in bad taste, really, Russ, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree, mate. Mark Tibbs went 11-0 with him. He took him from a fat kid who got knocked out by Big Dosafemi to WBC #1 and a British title. So he should have been allowed to finish the job. But when you've got people in your ear hole and up your arsehole, that's what happens, mate. You've got people telling you, Dylan, you should be doing this. Dylan, you should be doing that. Before you know where you are, these people are controlling the fighter. The trainer can't be with fighter all day, can he?
No. It's like when he added David Caldwell on fight week. It's just weird moves, isn't it, really? It's just odd. It's a bit like, it's just weird moves, isn't it?
They got rid of him now, aren't they?
Yeah. They've got one of Lennox Lewis's old coach, haven't they, now? His name off by heart.
Go to Dave Caldwell. He's the best. He does a Sunday sermon. Go to Ben Davidson. He's the best. He does a Monday sermon. What have these trainers, Davidson and Caldwell, what have they done with anybody from scratch?
Nothing. Yeah. I think with Caldwell, like you say, we've got to see what he does with the likes of Hopi Price, if he can take him far. But the question's out, isn't it? The jury's out. Ben Davidson's picked up a lot of the best MTK fight. He's the MTK trainer, isn't he, really, Ben Davidson? Obviously, he's picked up Josh Taylor when he when he moved to MTK, obviously hooked up with him and fighters like that. He's really picked up the best MTK fighters. Really, he hasn't took, like you say, anyone from debut, and he needs to be judged on that. Really, I think as a trainer, you need to be judged on someone you take from debut to world level and whatnot, isn't it? Really.
What's he done with Isaac Lowe?
Nothing. I'm not. Is it Isaac Lowe still with him? I'm not sure. He's just picking back off Tyson, isn't he? Really, Isaac Lowe. But he didn't do anything really with Isaac Lowe. No, he didn't do anything with him.
Yeah, I'm going to buy Isaac Lowe a spell checker for Christmas. So when he puts his tweets out, we can read them. We can read them properly. What do you think is going to happen with Hughie Fury?
Hughie Fury. I'd like to see it. He needs a 50-50. I think a Europe. It'd be nice if he could get a European title fight, something like that, really, because he's done British level now. I think he's not quite at world level, but he's still young enough to get to that world level again. He's fought good fighters like Povetkin, your Pulevs, your fighters like that who are border European world level. So he's fought those guys. So another crack at maybe one of them or get a European title shot would be the next move for him, I believe. What do you think?
I'd like to see him in a European title to add to his British title. I'd like to see him do that. I'd like to see him in with Caballel, somebody like that, a credible win. I don't want to see another Marius back because Hughie practices out like that, but he won every round, didn't he?
That was a good performance.
I'd like to see him in with Caballel. I'd like to see him in with Charles Martin, something like that. Bryant Jennings, something like that.
Yeah.
I like to see.
Yeah, agree. What about Tony Yoka? Would that be a fight you'd like? I know that'd be a tough fight, wouldn't it, Tony Yoka?
It'd be a tough fight for both of them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. Yeah, the style would be tough for Yoka, I believe. Hughie's style would be very difficult for Yoka.
Yeah. Yeah, they say, what's your style? My style? Yeah, my style. I suppose you could call it the art of fighting without fighting. Styles make fights, don't they? But I think that
definitely
Hughie beats Yoka on points if they fought.
100%. Yeah.
Too well schooled, and he's more seasoned than Yoka. And I think for a 26-year-old Hughie, I think that he is a lot more seasoned than what people think. You know what
definitely,
I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree with that.
And he'll have learned a lot from being around Tyson all his life. You know what I mean? And his footwork's sublime, isn't it? Oh, fitness and footwork. He's like a rough diamond that's been polished up, in a Hughie. Do you see where I'm coming from? That's how I look at it. But we're going to see, aren't we? Exciting times ahead, Matt. This is why we love the Blue Ribbon Division so much, Johnny. But anything you want to add before we part? Anything?
Yeah, just on the Adam Booth, Josh Kelly.
Adam Booth! Go to Adam Booth! He's the best. Go on.
I think with Adam Booth, he needs to. Him and Hearn, they rushed Josh Kelly, didn't they? Really, I believe. They should have took their time. He should have done the British route, shouldn't he? He should have tried to go for the British title and then made the fences and then go for like David Avanesian. I thought that was far too soon for him, and that's just poor matchmaking, really. And that's what I believe. I think it was a bit of a David Haye, Cole Thompson situation where they rushed their fighter too quick, and he may never be the same now, Josh Kelly. I don't know. That's a tough defeat to take, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a tough defeat to take, and I'd like to see him move up to 154 and fight Cheeseman, Fitzy, Metcalf, people like that, Fowler. I think him and Fowler's a good fight. Kelly and Fowler. There'll be a bit of intense beef there, won't there? I think that's a good fight. What do you think about Craig Richards? Do you like him?
Yeah, I do like Craig Richards. I think he's a game guy. I saw his last fight was at Shakam Pitters. He done a good job on Shakam. He was an underdog in that fight, and he knocked him out clean. It was a hell of a knockout. He's fighting Dimitri Bivol supposedly next, isn't he? Which Josh Boatzy, like we've been mentioning, he turned that fight down, didn't he? Josh Boatzy, or he knocked that back. So fair play to Craig Richards for going in as an underdog again against a world-class fighter in Dimitri Bivol, and we'll see how he gets on with that.
Yeah, it's a good fight. That's a good fight. What else do you want to talk about? The floor's yours, Harley.
Yeah, Joe Joyce Usyk. What's your thoughts on that fight? Both obviously top heavyweights, and I think that's a cracking fight. Would you argue if that was on pay-per-view, or do you think that it should be a pay-per-view? I think that's a pay-per-view fight personally, considering what else is getting on pay-per-view. That's a good fight, I think. What do you think of that fight if that gets made?
Could you repeat that?
Sorry, mate. Joe Joyce Usyk. What's your thoughts on that fight?
All right, that's better because you're answering your own questions. Right,
Yeah.
Joe Joyce Usyk. Right, you know my opinion on that, but I'll say it again. Joyce is doing Joshua's dirty work for him, isn't he? That's all they're doing. Sam Jones and Joyce, well, they can fight Usyk. They've already lost to him, and they're fighting Usyk. That's a bad move for Joyce, I think. But Joshua's not bothered, isn't it? He gets that out of the way, doesn't he? Let them fight for an interim. When really they should be taking the belt off Joshua, shouldn't they? If they don't fight him, the WBO have not been showing any strength there. So I think it's a mess, the whole situation. Just like Fury and Joshua, that's all a mess. And there's that many cooks spoiling the broth. Boxers, managers, advisors, trainers, promoters, sanctioning bodies, TV companies, put it all in mix. And no, they're not sticking to what the rules state. The WBO rules state that Usyk's next fight should be Joshua. If not, that belt should be vacant. Joshua's got to be stripped or he must vacate. But they've worked a way around it, haven't they? To manipulate it. And I think it's wrong, but it looks to me like Joyce is just protecting Joshua. Do you know what I mean? Protecting him. A bit like they didn't put Ortiz in with Joshua, did they?
No.
And they're protecting Joshua from Usyk. These people are blockers to protect Joshua. He's the quarterback. The rest of them are blockers to protect him. Keep the cash cow going. That's why I don't think Fury Joshua happens this year. They want to keep the money coming in for other avenues. Look, Joshua don't beat Tyson Fury. They know that. Hearns will know that. So they're going to spin it every way they want. And then they're going to look for an excuse when it doesn't happen. If Tyson Fury and Joshua doesn't happen next, we might as well all pack up and go home.
Yeah.
If they don't fight next, because it's on a plate. So, what else do you want to talk about, Harley?
The Domingo Robbie Davis Jr., the arguing in the corner, telling him to box southpaw. What did you think of that?
I thought Dominic Ingle didn't know what he was doing, mate. He was like a fish out of water, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, he obviously weren't working fighting southpaw, were it?
No.
He weren't
no, he was getting hit with.
On,
yeah, he was getting hit with the right hand all night, wasn't he? He couldn't miss him, the Mexican lad. Very odd.
They'll not work together again, them two.
No.
What do you think about Bellew's tweets about that? Going on about the Ingle style. Let me just point this out. It's not the Ingle style, Tony Bellew, the disappearing man. It's the Bomber Graham style. Ask Glyn Rhodes. Harold Bomber Graham brought that style over. So stop going on about the Ingle style. It isn't the Ingle style. Stop exerting your family name into styles that aren't yours. What next? Are we going to have the Ingle shoulder roll? It's the Archie Moore shoulder roll, the mongoose. Jesus. People start messing around with all boxing quotes and all hell breaks loose.
What do you think's like the Ingle gym at the moment? They haven't really got the fighters. They haven't got the fighters anymore, have they? Really? I know, obviously, Kid Galahad. He's a stinky, boring Kid Galahad, but they've got Willie Hutchinson coming out. They haven't really got the names anymore in that gym, do they?
Willie Hutchinson's a prospect. Kid Galahad's been to the top at Mountain. He's coming down it now. Who else is there?
It's hard off the top of that.
Liam Williams is a good fighter.
Yeah. How do you think he does against Andre? Do you think he wins that? Or
I hope he wins. One? I hope he wins. I don't like Andre. I hope he wins, but he's not going to get a decision on an Eddie Hearn show, is he?
No. I think Andrade's another one with a horrible style, and I think he might bore Williams and win a points decision. That's my opinion, because he's such a negative boxer. Like his style, very offensive-minded.
He might end up doing that. He just might end up doing that.
Yeah. But what do you think, Liam Williams? A little bit overhyped because he hasn't really beat anyone, but he's getting a lot of hype at the moment, isn't he?
He's knocking people out. That's his job, isn't it?
Yeah, but like Beefy Smith, when he put it on Liam Williams, he didn't really like it, did he?
No, he didn't. He's an on-top fighter, I believe. And when the going gets tough, he don't get going. He looks for a way out. I might be wrong. Liam Williams proved me wrong. So it is what it is. So later then.
All right, yeah. One more question. One more, is that right? Yeah, I want to get your take. I want to get your take on what's next for Josh Warrington. Do you think he has that rematch with the Mexican? Because I don't know if that's a good move for him.
I don't think you should fight that kid again. I think you should swerve him and go back to Leeds when the crowds come back and just milk it. That's my opinion. That's what I'd advise him to do if he were anything to do with him. That's what Dennis would do. He said, let's just go back to Leeds and get a few quid out of the job. You've won everything. It's about piling money up now. And if he goes and fights Lara and gets took out again, might get hurt, or might never be the same fight. He might not get a chance to keep fighting Leeds. You could have 3 more years, 6 more fights in Leeds, and put some money in bank, couldn't he?
Yeah.
That's how I see it. So,
definitely.
All right then, mate.
All right, brilliant. Thanks for having me on again, Russ.
No problem. Listen, what's your channel again?
HJM Boxing.
HJM Boxing. That's a rate catching.
Yeah.
That, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm getting started, mate. I need to get the logo and everything on it, the backgrounds, the thumbnails like yourself, the good thumbnails. I need to get editing and doing things like that. So it's good stuff.
Listen, mate. Let me give you a bit of advice, right?
Yeah.
I hope you've got deep pockets. That's all I'm going to say, mate. I know you've got a lot of I hope you've got a lot of patience and deep pockets, because to do it properly, you need thousands of pounds and a lot of time and effort, and you need to have a bit of patience, and you need to create a bit of a style. Say, for example, you're a bit controversial like me. I'm controversial. I just tell it straight. It's not hard to do this job, is it? It's not hard.
No, yeah.
Whereas other people, they want to talk like me, and they do, but they're not going to come on camera and say it, are they? So always stick to your guns about what you want to do, and just be yourself. That's the only advice I can give. Just be yourself and try and make it a little bit funny. Try and throw a bit of comedy in, and just be yourself. Try and have a bit of banter with people who are back and forward in comment section, because some of them are sat in house all day glued to its TV.
Yeah. When
my videos come out, right, within 5 minutes, there's some comments to get straight away. You have to laugh at them. But you just
what's that? Well, Porky's missing teeth, isn't it, or some crap guy? Every single video, isn't it?
It's been blocked about 20 times. He keeps coming back, doesn't
he? Yeah, I see him in the comments. Yeah,
he's going to be buzzing now that they've cancelled my flight, haven't they, on 9th of March? So I'm going to wait for I'm going to wait for another date, aren't I? Yeah, it's shocking, isn't it? You can't get out of the country. You can't even pay to have your teeth done, but we'll get them done. Listen, you've got to take it as a pinch of salt. There's some photos of me on there. Obviously, when I got my teeth knocked out in the back of a police car, wasn't it? And it was all, somebody were filming it from roadside, but somebody's put that up as a profile. Look, you've got to take it as a pinch of salt, but there'd be a problem if they weren't making accounts up about me, wouldn't there? Because I won't be doing my job with that. So you've got to be thick-skinned. You're
doing something right if you've got haters, mate, for sure.
Listen, mate. For every hater, there's 10 lovers. Always remember that.
Yeah.
All right, Harley. You take care.
Brilliant. You take care, Russ, mate.
Thanks, mate. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that was young Harley from Ipswich. Nice kid. Bit of an echo on his audio, though, so get some better audio stuff, Harley. Hope you enjoyed that. It's 1:45 on a Sunday. I've got a few things to do now. These should be out probably tomorrow or tonight. I don't know if I'm going to put them out tonight or tomorrow. Month's over now, isn't it? Probably tomorrow. That's about it, really. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. You can only get home, check my dog out, get him sludged up. Not really much to do, is it, on a Sunday? But, all right, so I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the channel today. 2 videos done. That's so we're 28th today of Feb, and you've already had 28, and there's 2. These 2, that makes it 30 for a month. I'll put these out tomorrow, I think. The Mickey Theo one's in production. He's accepted that kid's apology. That should be out tomorrow. Then we've got something really special coming this week. That should be out Friday. That's going to open a few eyebrows, or raise a few eyebrows, should I say. All right. So peace out. Keep on trucking. Keep supporting boxing. All right. Big shout out to my mate Frank in Berry. Hope you're well, mate. I'll try and get to see you this week. Peace.